This morning, at the breakfast table, my children asked me, so what are you going to do today? So Flores, Olivia, Lotte and Tessel looked a little bit at me and said, what are you going to do today? I said, well, I'm going to perform in the kleine zaal of het Concertgebouw. And then they died laughing. Say, man, we play a little bit of violin, a little bit of flute, but you cannot even whistle, man. What are you going to do? And of course I had to top that, right? Moest dat overtoepen. So I said, I'm going to spread ideas worth spreading. I'm going to talk about Dutch education, which is better than we think, but not as good as we want it to be. And in this belief, they looked at their cornflakes. So thank you for showing up here this day. And let me show, because I am going to talk about our Dutch education system, which is better than we think, but not as good as we want it to be. And I'm going to give you 5 ideas worth spreading, and I think they are more than ideas. They're based on hard facts of research we have shown, and research we are working currently with in the Netherlands. So let me take you through them. My day job is working in McKinsey, so we help our clients improve their performance. Most clients are companies, but also hospitals, government organizations. That's my day job. My night job is more helping education, helping schools. Many of us work pro bono in schools. We work with young, very talented Moroccos. We work with MBOs. We work with highly gifted children. We work with multiple universities. And that's where our passion is. But it's always about improving performance. So this is our fascination. When you look at the last 20 years, to the left you see the amount of money thrown into education. And to the right you see the uptick in performance these countries got from it. So we throw money, no better performance. Now, I will use some more PowerPoints to show you some facts. If you think like how to read them, this is just Montessori for managers, right? This is tools we use, yeah? So more money, so we thought this is interesting to research. And what especially is to research, we went out and write a report. You see the report to the left, how the world's most improved school systems keep getting better. And my partner, Mona Moorshad, has been leading this research, and now over the rest of the world, this report is getting a big uptick. So we looked at the systems. What school systems have shown an oomph, boom, performance up? And what did they do? And how did they sustainably keep them getting better? And I'm going to give you these 5 ideas worth spreading. First idea. We zijn aan het water trappelen in Nederland. We are treading water. We are not on this list. So we scouted all these school systems, and you can see some of the names here. They range from high performers to also starting performance. Countries like Andhra Pradesh in India, where we still have to move to get the literacy up. But also some regions and school systems you will recognize. Ontario in Canada, parts of England, part of the US. But we are not on the list. Wij zijn aan het water trappelen. For the last 20 years, we are stuck in good. So yes, we are good. We are better than we think. There's no room for bitching about Dutch education. We are good. But all the initiatives, all the committees, all the money have not moved the needle. 20 years, 25 years of all our efforts have not moved the needle. And worse, we're also educating for water trappelen. We are not educating Chromo Bijoyos, Pieter van der Hogeband. You see our high average in all the scores is created by lifting the bottom of the pyramid. So to the left you see the bottom quartile, which we're doing a very, very good job in educating them well. Better than most other countries. Congratulations, that's what we did. But when you go to the right, on math, reading, and science, and you look to the top 5% of students, we are dropping almost out of the top 10. So we are water treading, not making progress. And secondly, the top of our children, keeping them in the box, not moving them forward. And what the CPB says about this is a threat to our knowledge economy. We have done well lifting the water, but we are not moving forward. Insight 1. Second idea, big opportunity. School systems in a short period of time across the world have shown an oomph, have shown an uptick. Here see you some of them. In just a 6 or 7 year period, these school systems have been able to improve by focused action. Now, 6-7 years is not that long. Of course, in our country, it's about 5 governments. And that might be a challenge we need to discuss. Because maybe this is too important to leave to a government. Because when we go on zigzagging, you cannot get one policy going to be stable for 6-7 years and pull this off. But there is an opportunity to do it. And it's not only moving up the total score, but as you see in Singapore over multiple phases, they also narrowed the ethnic gap. So where Lodewijk was worried about, it's not only moving up a certain part of the population, but you can move all parts of the population. Second insight. Third insight. This is about acupuncture. Improving a school system in 6 to 7 years is about acupuncture. We have looked at all these school systems and bucketed them in, was this a journey from poor to fair, getting people in a school, feeding them, and getting to basic literacy? Or was this a school system journey from fair to good, from good to great, or from great to excellent? And working with all best education professors in the world, and with all educational ministries of the world, and with our research team, we saw there are specific sets of actions you take in each of these journeys. So from good to great is about shaping the professional. And that's what we are in the Netherlands. We should be shaping the professionals, shaping the teachers, shaping the school principals, shaping the boards. At the bottom, there are some common interventions across all journeys, which is about data, which is about assessing student learning, etc. But the most important thing is if you want to move, look where you are, and acupuncture where you want to shoot. Good to great is about improving the professionals, the teachers. Laser-like focus on that element. This is about raising the caliber of entering teachers. But that is not enough. Because with hundreds of thousands of teachers in a system, adding a few drops to the ocean every year is not going to give you a 6 to 7 year uptick. So you also want to work with improving the teaching of the existing teachers. And this is about, talking with Andre, this is about collaborative practices. This is about teachers visiting each other's classrooms. This is about joint lesson planning. And if you look at some of these countries to the right, both in Ontario and in Singapore, teachers are spending 10% of the time in the classroom of somebody else to learn from each other, to give feedback to each other. Joint lesson planning, right? Interesting you joined this school as a new teacher. Yeah, I'm preparing my lessons. Well, interesting you joined our school, but we think we do mathematics this way. Yeah, no, I'm going to do it my way. And the day before the teacher really wants to start teaching in a new class, yeah, I'm still going to do it my way. The 6 or 7 teachers from the mathematics department enter and say, no, this is how we teach mathematics in this school. We have a method, building on our own best practices. We're not letting you flying solo here. That is joint lesson planning. And lastly, also school-based decision-making, reviewing performance data to learn from it. Where we are good and not great yet, both in Ontario and some of the Baltics, the inspection uses the data to work with school to problem solve, to figure out what do other schools better. In our Dutch system, we also have a lot of data. We are rich with data. But we use the inspector data to slap the people as a control mechanism. So when the Baltics, I think it was Letland, shifted from using it as a control the data to joint problem solving, what are you doing better and worse than others? And what can be the measures? Then you're moving to a professional phase. So it's about acupuncture. We mapped the policies of the last 10 years all action plans of the last 10 years, the rapporten Dijsselbloem, etc., etc. Together with the ministry, together with a few people in the field. The image you get of this, and the gray areas meant as we really do it, and green we not do it, does not give me the idea we're shooting with laser-like focus, and we're doing acupuncture. We are all over the place. And if you're all over the place with your interventions, you will not move from good to great. So we are water treading, wij zijn aan het water trappelen, because we have no red thread, no string theory about how do we improve education in this country. We have great ideas, but they come from somewhere. And they're not one coherent strategy, how are we going to move from good to great. Fourth idea we're spreading. Improving schools is about process, not budget or buildings. Here you see the money on the bottom and the scores on the left, right? And I'll signal the Netherlands, it's over there. So you see that with the same spend, Ontario completely outbeats us in performance. Or you could say, if I want to get this performance, I could also spend as much as Slovenia or Lithuania, because they are getting the same performance out of it. So this is not about money, at first. But it's also not about structures or resources, not about new buildings, as Lodewijk said. This is about the key process. How do I teach with a student? Right? So it's to the right, you see 70% of all the interventions we have cataloged, which is about over 500. All about processes, the deep learning process. How do I teach? How do I educate a teacher? What does the school principal do? It can be in an ugly building, but it's about the teaching and not about the color of the doors. So it's about process. And of course, the system context, you have to, but what you do is the same, but how you do it in the Dutch system is important. Last idea worth spreading. Of course, we want to improve it, but our behavior is being caused by our mindset. And talking to many people in the Netherlands, the question is, might there be mindsets that be holding us back? Either in politics, in the ministry, in the teachers, in the parents. One is, top performance is not seen as in our DNA, and it's not seen as urgent. It's okay, we are good. We slowly drift. It's okay, we are good. This will not work as we want to improve. A second thing is strong autonomy, limits process. Teaching is a closed-door profession. I'm educated as a teacher. I lock my door. I do what I want to do. See you in 30 years. I'm overstating now, but this is what teachers are saying to me myself. School principals say, if I'm leading all the schools in my city as a voorzitter, I will not share any data with any of the other schools in my city. I will not say anything about wachtlijsten, about what we teach, because I want to get children to my school. And it even happens in the stichtingen, the foundation with multiple schools. So it's a closed-door profession, closed-door stichtingen, and closed-door cities. So whatever we do very well will never spread. Second mindset holds us back. And thirdly, our ideas about change might be a little bit Dr. Bibber. It might not help, right? Roeping something in the parliament, yelling something in the parliament, make it into a law because you like it, is not fact-based improvement of school systems. Yeah? This has to come bottom-up through the professionals and with the professionals, and not more control will help this. Evidence-based to raise our system. These were my ideas. Where's our red thread? Can we start prototypes using this evidence-based? And thirdly, can we institutionalize this in our thinking? I want to thank you for showing up, because showing up is the first step to success, right? As Woody Allen said, 80% of success is showing up. And I think I want to share a story with you. You might know, 1995, South Africa. South Africa was organizing the World Cup of rugby. First big sporting event in the nation. First time South Africa was competing. But the South African team was playing like, how will I say it, Dutch players in Poland at the European Championship. Not going anywhere. But Mandela, President Mandela, newly elected, saw the big opportunity there to let us become world champion. So he invited François Pinard, the captain of the team, to the presidential palace. And as beautifully depicted in the movie Invictus, he sat down with him and he said, François, what is your philosophy on leadership? How do you get the people to perform? And François said, by being a role model. And Mandela said, that's good. But what I find most difficult, he said, how to let people become better than they think they can be. That I find the hardest. But at this time, it is most needed. And François walks out to his car where his wife is waiting, and he says, I think he wants us to become world champion. Thank you for showing up. I think it's up to us here to set our goals high, right? How can we get children become better than they think they can be? How can we help our educators to become better than they think they can be? And how can we help our school boards, educate our school boards to become better than they think they can be? Right? Let us start. And I think in the Netherlands, our kingdom, we can become the world champion of education. Thank you.